lot, and welcome back to Crafters TV. It says on there, I'm Corrine Robinson, and I'm going to be here for the rest of this show. And then I'm doodling away home. I'll be back another day. So yes, this is my last show of the day. And wow, has it not been a fantastic day. I have loved it. So much inspiration. That was a double negative, so that means it was a positive there, Dee. Dee says, has it not? I meant, has it not? It's a double negative, so there we go. Means it's good. Don't worry. I did think that one through. I think he was panicking. He was like, oh my goodness me, the bosses are going to be shouting. There we go. Right, it has. It's been full of so much crafty inspiration. I am loving this. We will talk about our launch day showstopper in a little while, but this isn't a launch day show. This is your beautiful beginnings. And this is all about, we've got our Venetian Grace, couple of different collections on there, and we've also got an amazing creator card collection, saving 71%, but we will go into that in a minute. Now, the first thing I want to show you is our Weekday Wonder. This is brilliant, and it's going to work on so many levels. What you're going to get is your small die and stamp folder, and you're going to get 2 packs of your magnetic panels. So this is there. Hello.
I'm here as well. It's not just Corrine, you've got me as well.
I didn't forget. You were really, really busy.
No, I wasn't.
You were. Okay, right. I'm going to stop on that one. Hello. I'm not here on my own. Today I've got Craig with me. You were busy.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for introducing me there at the top of the show.
Busy.
I was very, very busy. I would always stop for Corrine and you guys at home. Absolutely. No, we did have a fun day earlier on with launch day. I know obviously you had a fun show this morning with Lily and Wake Up Call. But yeah, it's going to be lovely. Really do enjoy this show, Corrine. It's just bringing it right back to basics when it comes to beautiful beginnings. Although I say that, sometimes we do just take it to the next level as well, you know, so we'd step you through the basicness and then, you know, well, who knows where we'll end up.
There we go. Right, I'm sorry, Craig.
Don't be daft, don't be daft.
The stuff that's going off in my ear as well.
I know.
They're having a problem with the aircon. It might be a little bit smelly. It's a little bit whiffy, is the aircon. So, yeah, I'm just, it's really distracting at times. And I forgot to mention Craig, but he was very busy. He was looking around. Anyway, right, we'll go back. Oh, we've finished with that one. That one's gone. Okay, we finished that one. That was the Weekday Wonder. Go and have a look for that. Right, the first collection our Craig is going to show you is our Venetian Grace. It's an 8-piece collection. You've got stamps and dies in here, but oh my goodness me, it is beautiful. You've got your Rialto bridge. Isn't that gorgeous? I recognise that. It's probably this is the original, but there's a bridge type building just like that in Oxford. It connects 2 of the buildings. Always reminds me, whenever I see that, I think of that bridge building in Oxford. You've also got your harmonious harp. Isn't that beautiful? Really, if you've got anybody musical in your family or in your friends that you give cards to, this is going to be beautiful to give to them. You've also got your little cherub. As everyone knows, this was sort of modelled on our Leanne's granddaughter. So I think her name, it might be Eva or Ava, I think it is.
I think it's Ava, isn't it?
Avia. Ida, there you are, I knew, yeah it is, that's what it was, there we are. But isn't she gorgeous? You can colour her however you want. Now you've got your Renaissance frame. Now this is a cut and emboss die. You can see that because you've got lots of open holes in there that's going to be brilliant for your embossing. It cuts in or it cuts out, so you've got your matte layer as well. No, it cuts out, you've got your matte layer as well. Beautiful, beautiful one. Get your gilding waxes on that. Now, I know our Craig is going to show you how to use this one. This is your ornamental frame. That's in one of his demos. I've seen that. So, so pretty. Cut the aperture out if you want it. You've got the matte layer. Gorgeous, gorgeous detailed frame. You've got your Renaissance border and corners. Wouldn't be Crafter's Companion if we didn't have a border die, and then matching corners as well. We've then got our Opulent Grace, which is, if I show you that, it's a cut and emboss die. Treat it like a 2D embossing folder and you won't go far wrong. Absolutely beautiful. And then to finish this collection off, you've got your set of 14 stamps. Sorry, they're all falling off. They're all fun. We need a new way to store our stamps, don't we? There we go. You've got all of those stamps on there with loads and loads of really thought-provoking sort of sentiments. I have faith in you, love, faith and hope. You are the music in my heart. How beautiful is that? Lovely, lovely sentiments. Now, all of those should be just over £80 or £60 or $80, but not today. You're going to get those for £50 or $65. That's a massive, massive saving on there. But even better than that is your platinum price. It's going to drop down to £40 or $52. The next part of this, so we've broken this down into nice little bite size. So those are all of your bits that they're your tools, they're gonna last. The next bit is one of your consumable bundles, and it's your embellishments. So you're gonna get your tassels, and they'll come in a little pack just like that, and when you open them out you're going to get all of these 12 tassels. Yes, 6 colours, 12 tassels. I love these. They're going to work on this. I'm thinking of these on your bohemian as well. You're also going to get your gems, your Aurora Borealis gems. Oh, I did it right. I'm impressed. I'm not going to do it again. Absolutely gorgeous. You've got to get 100 of those. And then you're going to get your 3 little mini ink pads. You've got pink, gold and blue. And they've got a shimmer to them. They're your shimmer ink pads. Really lovely, juicy ink pads. All 3 elements, your gems, your ink pads and your tassels. Today, £17 or $22. Your platinum price is £13.60 or $17.60. And then finally, your last bit is are your papers. Now, these are individuals. These are your 12 by 12 paper pad. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, there we go. There we are. Found it. 12 by 12 paper pad. Look at these images. They're all double-sided. Absolutely brilliant. There we go. Absolutely. Oh, somebody's just told me the bridge in Oxford is a copy of the Bridge size, not the Rialto. There we go. Just reminded me of it. There, you learned something new. We learned lots today about Christmas spiders.
We did.
Bridge size. Not spies, size. Absolutely gorgeous. So, absolutely brilliant, brilliant 12 by 12 paper pad, $14.99, $19.95, but your platinum price is $11.99 or $15.95. And finally you saw the details very briefly on the screen, is your 6 by 6 paper pad. It's the same images as in your 12 by 12, double-sided, beautiful papers, all that Venetian architecture and imagery in there. Absolutely lovely. Same images, but just shrunk down to 6 by 6, $5.99 or $9.95. Platinum price, look at that, fantastic price, £4.79 or $7.96. Now, as you know, I'm not here alone. We're going to go back to Mr. Laird, and when he's done his first demo, we will see who has clocked in with us, because there's quite a lot of you here. So we'll let Craig do a demo, and then I'll do all of the hellos after that.
Okie doke, sounds like a perfect plan. Let's show you some finished examples first of all, because you've got the most beautiful collection here. So whether you're going to do your shakers, now I'm going to do a shaker in a moment, but not with the cut and emboss folder. That framework is absolutely divine. It really, really is. As Corrine was saying there with the harp, if you know someone that loves their music, then of course that's going to be a great one. But I love the colour tones that run throughout this whole collection.
Beautiful,
now,
aren't they?
the colours, they really are, Corrine, absolutely gorgeous. Whether you're going with the darker ones, whether you're going for your small cards, maybe you're going to go in with your oranges. I mean, that card bundle that comes with the launch day cute character boxes, that cardstock's going to work well with this one. Incidentally, funny enough, look at that one there. I want to say, did Lily do that this morning?
No.
No. The only reason I'm asking that is because that's been made using the little template from the cute characters.
Hasn't it?
And I just thought maybe two and two together, Lily, cute characters this morning. With that one.
Now, I saw her putting something together, so it could be quite possible she did do that after the show
Maybe she's done
finished.
it as an extra, yeah, maybe then. So there you go, start to tie the template with the cute characters. I mean, there's combining a number of the elements. See what I mean there with, there's your oranges and your blacks. There is then your ice blues there. There's your navy blues there. There's your pinks and your lilacs. You've got your pinks within that one there. You've got your mints within this one here. So the colours really are exquisite. This one there, again, navy, but with the white work as well.
That's pretty.
So I just love that is my style.
Yes.
That is absolutely my style. Bianca's made that one there. But let's go in and let's use some of the blue tones here. So I'm going to go in, let's take that one out the way, let's pop it underneath for now, and let's come in with a couple of layers. So what I've already done is I have taken some linen cardstock, and it is a deep blue, and I cut that to 6 1/4 by 6 1/4. I did take one of the pattern papers, and then I've gone around with the Parakeet water reactive, and that was because at the time I didn't actually have the 3-pack of the shimmer pads that you get included. So that's why I've gone in with the Parakeet, although you can go in with your, I'm trying to see what colour, it just says blue, with the blue tones that you've got from the shimmer ink pad. So for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in, I'm just going to take my backing off, and then I'm going to mat and layer that onto my card. So we're going to go nice and central into the middle here. I'm going to set that to the side just for a moment. What I've started to do, I cut a piece here that's 6 1/2 by 6 1/2, and I've started to tear it just at the sides. But I'm going to finish that off just shortly, because at this point, I'm going to come in with the shimmer ink pad here. And with this one, let's just take a little blending tool. I'm going to use the square one here. And I'm just going to go direct on, and these really, really are juicy. These really are containing a lot of colour. So what I'm doing is I'm just dabbing my excess onto my glass mat first, and then I'm just going to apply it onto my cardstock. And I'm just tinting the edges. I don't want anything too strong, because I love the design and I love the colour that's already there from the pattern paper. But it picks up the colours that are already
in the paper, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. Because although you do have these speckles of blue, I think you see a little bit the blue, but then you see the tan, you see the faux gold as well. But then going around the edge with the blue, as you said, Corrine, it really does pick it out and enhances all these blue speckles that little
Clever,
bit more.
Isn't it? How it makes it almost more visible.
So clever, and yes, so visible, a lot more visible than what you would be used to. And then what I've just done is I've gone in and I've just teared down slightly, and then I've started to roll into the corners there. So starting to roll, not adding any adhesive, we're just keeping that cardstock, you know, because I think it's about something like 180 GSM, so you've got that substantial weight, so you know that it's going to be held into place once you start to roll.
Exactly 180, you are correct.
I thought our paper pads were around about 180, giving you that really, really strong structure when it comes to things like this. And then all that I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into my ink pad, and I'm just going to ink round the curvatures of the edges just into here.
Yeah, if they were clean and uninked, they would sort of glare against the rest of the project, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they really would. You're absolutely spot on there. It really, really would. But what I want to do then is I want to now enhance kind of like the faux golden flakes that are there. So what I can then do is I'm going to come in. I did pick up my wrong gilding wax. Oh, we seem to be low on a few of them. Let's just use the one that I have, and that is the antique gold. Because the antique gold will work. I just want to keep the gold tone on with the gold tone. And then I'm just going to lightly come along, and I really want a fair bit off my finger, Corrine, because what I want to then do is I'm pulling in the direction, I'm pulling towards me in the direction of that Torin lip there. And then what's happening then is I'm just nicely etching the curvature of the torn element. We're going to go in. You really
don't need much, do you?
You really, really don't. You really don't. This is one of those elements, though, that if you go light and build, it's going to look lovely. If you make a mistake and you go a little bit too heavier-handed, don't worry about it. You know, it's still going to add to that aged effect, but what we're just wanting to do is we're just wanting to complement the edges. And then what I'm just going to do, again, taking a little bit off, and then I'm just going to go around the edge. Essentially, I'm kind of like using my finger as a blend. We're just blending the edges with that little bit of the antique gold, finishing round the edge there, coming along the bottom, tiny little bit into there, and then we've gone from that distress sort of faux foiled look within that paper. So then what we can do is I'm then going to go in, I'm going to use my tacky glue for this. You can of course use any of your adhesive, but so that I keep that flow of these little rollbacks, I'm going to make sure that I don't stick any of the adhesive, of course, into the folds. Now in order for me to do that, I would have to unfold it. So you're just going to follow your layer as it is. I'm then going to come in. Now the reason I'm going layer upon layer is because I want to see that striking blue right in the back. And I say blue, it is the parakeet. But we're going to go in. You could have got the centre if you wanted to, but we're really going for that strong look. And at the moment it is strong and potentially a little bit garish. However, once we start to complement that with the die cut layers, that's then really going to be tied in together. Yeah. And what we're doing to start with, Corrine, is we're going to split it now. I think it was that way that was originally intending it. We're going to split it with a little strip of paper. And for this one, I've gone for quite a bold floral design from the paper pad, and I've done a matten layer. And when it comes to panels, what I usually do is I usually have my matten layer top and bottom, but I come flush to the opposite ends, whereas this time you can see I have a matten layer all the way around, and that's just going to kind of box it off. It's also then just going to then make this background, it's just going to subtly pull it back in a little bit so it's not too strong and garish. But then what I'm going to do is let's go in, I'm going to take my pokey tool, I'm going to pop this onto my card blank now. And then what we can do is I've gone in for the navy blue linen, and also it's kind of like the ice blue, which was the linen that originally came with the collection. I'm going to pop that just to the side for now. I know we're just at the side. I'm just speaking to Charlotte now. I know we're just at the side, but I'm going to move it in a moment, Charlotte. I don't want to get all that onto the back of my card. So I didn't want Charlotte to panic, being, oh my God, Craig, we can't see you. So let me just get rid of this. I've got a little bit left over of the gilded wax. So what I can do afterwards is once we go back to Corrine, my stick away adhesive spray, that's going to take it off. Or if you've still got things left over, like your hand gel and stuff like that, anything like that.
Oh, does hand gel clear it off well?
Yeah, it's that alcohol that's inside. And certainly with the hand gel that we all were using at that horrible time of the year, because it was kind of strong, it's like 97% or something like that, it helps to take anything like that off. So if you do have any excess remaining and you want to know how to use it up, then things like that, it works to take that off your glass mat. But let's go in with the outer die. And then we're going to go in, there's just something about this framework within this die here, isn't it beautiful? The Renaissance, not the border and corner, that was in the wrong pack. Anyway, I've got the right die anyway. It's the one that I want. This one, it will cut all the way out, it will cut into the middle here. But notice, this die is jam-packed full of detail, but with no cutting edge. Now that gives you the indication it's embossed detail. So what I'm going to do, once I've cut this, I'm going to come along with my embossing mat, and then I'm going to emboss it after with the embossing mat, and it's going to help push all the detail in. So
Renaissance frame it is, that's the one you wanted. Renaissance frame.
The Renaissance frame. So then this is going to work with, I don't know why someone's popped it into the Renaissance border and corner.
You did well finding it then, didn't you?
I did. I think obviously I've taken out, because I am going to use the corners as well, which actually is good thinking. Let's do them at the same time. I'm going to go in with these corners, and I'm going to do all 3 of them. I don't need the little border, just going in with the corners, and I'm going to tape them down. These also have a lot of embossed detail.
Yeah.
So for this, I know I need my full plate configuration. We're going to run that one through, feeding it in. So these are all going to go through at least your Gemini Midi, your Gemini Junior or beyond, of course. And then there's lots of these little icon corners and that are going to work through your Gemini Mini and your Gemini Go. So what we can then do is my framework, my frame layer,
That scooted all over the place, that,
it
didn't
did,
it?
yeah. That's why I was just thinking, has it all cut? But it has, thankfully. So what I like to do now, so when I like to emboss, what I do is I keep all my layers together.
Yeah.
And then I flip it around. And then what I'm going to do, see that's just popped out. I'm not worried because what we can do is we can then just act like a little, kind of like a little jigsaw as such, and just slot it back in. Now that slots in just nicely. I'm then going to come in with my rubber embossing mat, and that can go over the top. So let's just make sure that's all nice. I'm going to make sure that's not moved, so we're good. I'm going to put that back. I'm then going to flip that back over, and then we're going to then take our magnetic shim out, because you never have the magnetic shim and the embossing mat at the same time. We're then going to run that one through once again. So now what that's going to do, not only is that going to kind of refine the edges ever so slightly, Corrine, all of that detail that I showed you in the middle, you've got the aperture detail, but there's no cut line. That is the indication that's an embossed line. So it's going to push all of that detail all the way throughout. But before I do the reveal on that one, like you'll maybe be able to see it on these ones, but with these ones,
Oh, you could go with your gilding waxes on those, couldn't
well, yeah, you're thinking my mind as well. So these ones, what I'm going to do is if I carefully pop these ones out, they're still held in with a little bit of tape on the other side. We've got little bits of die cut detail, but the rest is all embossed. So those three, I'm going to take out the die, as I have done. With this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep the die cut in. It's going to act like a stencil. So if I show you it as it is, we can cut, oh, there we go. We can see all that embossed detail. Now, if you wanted to run your finger over with your gilding wax, or if you wanted to run your finger over the top with any of the ink pads, you can. But I'm going to go in and I'm going to use this as a stencil. So we're going to ink all the way through. And what we're going to then do is maybe your finger dauber would be a good one as well. We're just going to go in, and you can do this with any of your ink pads. And then all that you're going to do afterwards is then just give your die a wipe, lukewarm water, or, I know many of us are trying to use less and less baby wipes. It's something that we do use and reuse quite a lot here because they are a quick way to clean elements when we're live. But what you can then do is just into lukewarm water, taking off the ink from your die, but we're just going to go and blend that in, blend it over the top. So essentially what it's doing is all that detail that's then being pushed all the way through, we're now going to ink it, or that's exactly what we're doing. So we're just using the ink pad that comes within the collection, and then you can spend more time then going into all of the dots if you wanted to. But then if we take that out of the way, I mean, look at that, straight away. Makes that
beautiful.
Just stand out so much. And then what I'm going to do is let's take I'm going to go in with my red liner tape here. And I'm going to put my red liner tape just around the inner frame. So let's then pop red liner tape around, and then I've got a little bit of acetate to the side of me. So I think sometimes, and I know I used to think this quite a lot, shakers, I always felt as though they had to be big cards or big shaker apertures, but there really could be small little apertures. For instance, this one is a nice little rectangle, so it's not overly big. So let's take the backing off there. So let's just go underneath with our red liner tape and our pokey tool. We're going to then peel all of that off. Just start to lever it down. And then if I come in with my acetate, I'm just going to roughly cut that, because you're not going to see the back of it. Let's see what that do. That one will do. Chop it up. This is our construction, so it did have a backing to it, but I've already just peeled that off. So you've got the plastic backing, and then I'm just going to make sure that fits, which it does. Press that one in, and then let's come along with, I don't know what I've done with my strips of foam that comes within the small foam pad bundle. So let's use our foam on a roll.
But there's still room for it, isn't there? And that's the most important thing.
Exactly,
When they've designed it, they've made sure that there is space.
You've got good, I don't know, what would you say, Con? Maybe about 1/4 of an inch or something between the inner frame and that first die cut detail. So you've got plenty of scope there. But not only that, if you want to balance it, what you've also got is you've got these little areas as well.
Yeah.
So you can go in and add your foam. So whether it is your foam on a roll, whether you've got your foam pads, it's the same depth, of course, you can use them. Just kind of helping counterbalance it, even it all out. So if we go in with them ones, let's just pop one there, and then we're going to come in with our next one.
Oh, Laurie says this die would look pretty foiled. As the foiling guru, can you see that?
Oh yes, you could do. Yeah. What will happen though is you can absolutely use it on the foil press, but keeping in mind all that detail, because there's no die edge there, that's just embossed. None of that would foil. It would just be all these outer areas and these little landlocked areas. However,
so it'd be a lot less detail.
A lot less detail. You can still absolutely do that in that 2 seconds on your foil press.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, you don't need long whatsoever. So absolutely, yes, you can use it on the foil press. Just keeping in mind though, when it comes to the foil press, for the foil to, or for the lines of the die to be foiled, they need to be there within the die.
Yeah.
So
when you explain it, it makes obvious sense. But sometimes you've just got to think it through, haven't you?
Yeah, but then, as you're saying, something like that, that's still going to give you a lovely outer frame foiled all the way in there. And then that inner bit would be foiled as well. So you're going to have a chunky frame bit with the foil detail. So it's still going to look lovely.
It is, isn't it?
Still going to look really, really lovely. But let's just go in with the back in here. So take this last one out. And I know we've talked about shakers a lot from all of us on the team, but when I met each corner around that framework, I just made sure that each part of the foam on a roll is then just jointed right up together. And then I've gone in with some, it kind of looks like mermaid colours, sequins that I found within my stash. I've never purchased them, so I've obviously acquired them from somewhere. You do,
don't you?
You do,
They'll either be free gifts on something or an embellishment,
Or you're at Hobby Maker and something's lying on the ground there as if it's been missed going to the bin. Oh, I'll take that. So I've gone in. That I didn't have a lot, hence why I've only put a few in there, but I like the colours.
But the colours work so well.
They work really well, don't they? And I could have added some of my own sequins in from, you know, the silvers or the clear, but it works, and it shakes really, really well. And then all that I'm going to do at this point, Corrine, is I'm going to add that there. I'm going to go over the embossed detail with my antique gold, and then we're just going to finish off with a sentiment, and let's add a couple of the tassels as well.
That's going to look beautiful. That is so pretty. The colours are absolutely gorgeous. The details on the screen are for your tool collection, shall we say. The things like your dies, your embossing folders and your stamps. Those are all available for you today. £50, $65, and the details are there on the screen if you want them. Look at the platinum price, £40, $52. You've got 8 stamps and 14 dies. And an embossing folder. It doesn't even mention the embossing folder there, but it's definitely there in the bundle. So yeah, absolutely fantastic value for money.
Isn't it just? It really is. It's one of those as well, when I found out that we were bringing this collection, I did think, and I'll be honest, it's the same for Once Upon a Time. Both of them I thought, it's not really my cup of tea. It's going to be nice to play with, but it's not my bag. But it's one of those, once I got them home, and started to have that little bit of play. This one having that real elegance to it, mixing the colours, bringing the colours in, you know, being a little bit fancy with the colour choices.
You can, can't you?
You can.
It doesn't look out of place if you go really opulent and, yeah, it gives you the opportunity to sort of go OTT, doesn't it?
It does, and you know, with the certainly the blue or the parakeet right in the background, what I would say is if you are experimenting with colour, don't get to a point where you think, oh, I'm unsure, and give up. Just go with it. Just go with it. Don't commit to the stick until you're completely happy. I mean, for instance, this one here, and you know, in all honesty, many of you might have thought to start with, oh gosh, that colour with the Venetian greys, but then starting to tie it in with your ice blues and then coming in with your deeper strips and that, it really does. It makes it a little bit more subtler, not completely subtle, but it certainly just levels out the parakeet. And then by bringing in some of these little corners to finish off, I needed one of these, and I'm going in. And with these corners here, we usually talk about going in light and then building up, but these are one of those that's very, very forgiving, that if you do go quite heavy-handed, Corrine, it works.
Yeah.
And that's the thing with this collection. Lots of things that you would tend to do, for instance, you would tend to go light-handed with your gilding waxes. You can absolutely get away with being a little bit more heavy-handed, and then it just makes it stand out that little bit more, gives it more of that antique Venetian sort of feel. So then I can then come along, I've just got a little bit of twine here, and the colour of the twine really isn't important. You can actually tie this with anything. It's just something to lever it down. So I'm going to go in and take that one. Let's go in with that little knot there. And then we're just going to cut that excess off. I've already hand-tied a bow. I've then gone in, I have faith in you. How lovely is that?
It is, it's lovely, isn't it? It's a real nice affirming statement, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've just pop the details on the screen for the embellishment. So you've got the tassels, the gems and the shimmer pads there. So, you know, you've got all of those details on the screen if you want that.
And sometimes you want to send someone a card or something just to say you're thinking of them, or maybe they're going through a bit of a struggling time at the moment, and you know, you want something a little bit different than I'm thinking of you, which of course there's absolutely nothing wrong with a lovely sentiment like that, but sometimes you do want something just a little bit different to just because or thinking of you, and having that, I have faith in you. It's just a lovely one.
Did you not fill up your glue?
I didn't, no, I forgot. Well, it's not that I forgot, to be honest. I was too busy munching on my tea that I thought,
we both were.
Fill up my glue. Because we've only got the hour now with the show change within the middle, you know, okay, I know we've got the 2 hours at the start of the day, but yeah, we're just having that hour now.
It's still new to us, isn't it?
It is.
We were like, oh my goodness me, finish your tea quick, we've got to go.
You need to get in quick. And it's habit as well, because I do like to use a little bit of tacky glue on all my gems. And that's every gem, you know, whether it's ours, whether it's someone like Hunky Dory's, self-adhesive gems, it's just peace of mind that I'll always add a little bit of tacky glue underneath. But let's go in. I've obviously miscounted and I've now only got 2 gems left.
Oh,
but
nobody will notice.
We've got another pack I can add just shortly. So that one can go into there. And then I'm going to come along. Let's take my, here we go. Let's bring in with my glue gel. I'm going to then add my little bow and my little tassel into the corner. And what I'm going to do as well, to make it a little bit different, instead of going into that corner, which you may feel you would naturally go to, I'm actually going to go into this corner.
You're a rebel today, aren't you?
Rebel, real rebel.
You are.
Being a cheeky rebel. Going into there, or as my gran used to call me, a toe rag. There we go. I think that's a polite way.
Only your gran can say that.
A polite way of calling me a little sugar lump. No, Charlotte, I love my job that much. I ain't going to say that word live on TV, that's for sure. Yeah,
there you go. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? I love the colours of that. It is such a different take on that same collection. So you've seen we've got the tool collection on the screen, are your embellishment collections, and then we've got the paper pads as well. So you can then get as much or as little as you want. Now, I know it's after 6:30 and we haven't said hello to everyone, but I have been keeping an eye and I've been checking the questions, but I just really wanted to make sure that Craig could get his first demo in. So, with us today, we've got Hadasha in from Kentucky, we've got Lois in from Ohio, Zoe Carver, evening everyone from a hot and humid West Sussex. Well, send some of it up here, please, Zoe. Susie was telling me off for forgetting Craig. I didn't forget him, he was busy.
I was busy, bless you, Corrine.
Laurie's in from a beautiful media in Pennsylvania. Oh, Kim Rice has just unboxed her new Gemini 2 and stopping to watch us all. Don't stop, you can unbox your Gemini 2 whilst you watch us, Kim. Let us know how you get on with it. It's so easy, you are going to love it. Diane Cadman says hello again to everyone. Tracy Kershaw is in from Liverpool. She's got us on in the kitchen with her while she cooks the tea. Well, they can have a late tea tonight, so you can watch us through to 8 o'clock. Yeah, I wouldn't worry. Jane Adams is in from Las Vegas. Faye Parks is in from Kent. Marianne is, she was telling me about the bridge. It's the bridge's size, not the Rialto. Patricia loves the harp die. We've got Roseanne Carborn in from Massachusetts. She says hello to everyone. So does Mary Beth Doyle from Minnesota. Ellen Hayes from Virginia. Lillian Quack says, oh, look, it's Craig. Hello there, and hi to everyone else. Stephen Nicole says, evening, everyone, what a lovely day. I don't know, I've not really been outside that much. No. I've popped out at lunchtime, but not for long. Hi, Crafty Peak, sneaking in from work, says Olga. Ooh, don't get caught. Love the distressed paper, she says. Laura Simmons saying, loving that navy. It's nearly a denim look. Yes, it looked beautiful. Michael Adams, good evening. Once again, Craig, your work is magical, so talented. You. Wow, says Jane. Love the corner, says Patricia. And then Marianne Rosie says, very baroque. It certainly is. Ooh, Stephanie says, is it true you can thin out white tacky glue? If so, why would you?
No.
You're looking puzzled. You could, because it's water-based. Well, in theory, yeah. But why would you?
Why would you? Yeah, exactly.
Unless you wanted to use it as a glaze.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Like you do a PVA wash. I know it's tacky glue, it's not PVA, but that's the only thing I can think of. If you were doing like a decoupage.
Decoupage, yeah. Yeah, I would get that. The only thing, I would never ever do that as a way to use it as an adhesive. No, don't water it down in that way because all that you're just going to do... Perfect. You saturate your cardstock with water and it's just going to drop very nice. So absolutely, yeah, and something like a decoupage, you could get away with it. But if you're going to use it as a way to adhere your cardstock or medium to your project, I would never water it down in that way. No, not at all. Anna-Marie says, beautiful, such inspiration. Going to have to take out my Venetian Grace and try this. I know. Do you know what? It's so frustrating when you stood here as a presenter. I love it. But your mind starts going, oh, I could do that, that. And then you get home and you go, oh, I've got to get ready for the next show, but I wanted to do what I've just watched. Yeah. And yes. Problem to have, I know. Judy says, very pretty, beautiful card, says Lois. Very pretty card, loves the colours, says Roseanne Carborn. Jane Adams, very pretty. Super classy Craig, says Hannah Gosling Smith. I don't know whether she's talking about you or the card, but probably the both. Cards, probably not me. Both. Love the paper selection, says Ellen. Deborah Rogers is saying hi from Glasgow. Faye Parks. All right, Glasgow. Yeah. Lovely card, says Faye. Beautiful card, says Teresa. And says, that's twice. Nice card with a great technique, says Patricia Powell. There we go. Nice. So thank you for your comments. Sorry I took a while to get round to, but I wanted to let you see the first demo. Right,
multi-purpose cardstock, absolutely brilliant. Now, Craig used quite a lot of linen cardstock in that one, but you could be using your multi-purpose if you wanted to and inking it. It die cuts beautifully, it embosses beautifully, and it takes your inks absolutely amazing. You can use it for your card bases, you can use it for your mats and layers. I often like a little bit of white between a pattern paper and a plain paper.
That's nice.
Makes it pop, really. Craig and I have got a very, very similar style. So yeah, with our mats and layers and things like that. Now, this is not just one pack of your multi-purpose, you're going to get 2 packs. So you're going to get 120 sheets for £20 or $25. But your platinum price is going to go right down to £16 or $20, which is amazing, amazing value for 120 sheets. I'd be thinking of buying maybe even 2 sets of that to give you 4 packs, because it's something that you're going to use time and time again. I can't be past my last pack. Oh, I start to panic.
I do.
Right. Mixed cardstock is what we're going to look at next. If you buy 2 of your 12 by 12 pads, let's go that way because it's much, much better. There we go. So let's have a look. Say maybe your rose gold and your silver. We're going to give you the glistening gold for free. These are beautiful cardstock. It's one of my favourites. I've loved this since we launched it. Encapsulated glitter cardstock, 12 sheets of those, and 12 sheets of your, you can see on there, double-sided pearlescent. And as I've said every time, look at how they matte and layer together. Oh gosh, I'm not doing that very well, am I? Look at how, it's so thick. There we go, you can see on there. Look at how they matte and layer together. That colour combination is beautiful. So that's your rose, Regal Rose Gold. Really nice colour. It's got quite a coppery feel to it. Then you've got your silver, and it's a proper silver. Look at that. Really gorgeous silver. And then you've got your sort of steely silver in the pearlescent, the double-sided. And again, for mats and layers, that's absolutely gorgeous. $19.99 each of these pads, and that's what we always sell those at. So we're going to give you your 3rd one for free, which is your glistening gold. Look at that, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. And then we're going to do this one here, which is your double-sided pearlescent. So yeah, absolutely gorgeous. It's buy 2, get 1 free, but your platinum price is even better, $31.98 or $36.72. It's working out $12 a pad, or just over £10 a pad, which is brilliant because they're normally $19.99. Right, we've been talking about paper, white cardstock, mixed cardstock. I know we're going to just mention this one. This is your fall and festive luxury linen cardstock. $14.99 or $19.95. It goes brilliantly with our new launch today, but if you are after cardstock, if you missed out on the All Hallows Eve cardstock, then maybe consider getting this. $14.99, $19.95. Your platinum price is $11.99 or $15.96. That is if you're buying it individually. Remember, if you buy it and if you buy the showstopper today, which gives you 1 pack of this already, and you put a 2nd pack in, you're going to get it for half of that price. You're going to get it for £6 or $8 if you're platinum, if you buy it in the same transaction as our showstopper today. Absolutely brilliant. I'd be picking up a few packs. I know a certain Christine might have bought 5, so there you go, 5 bonus packs. So there we go, absolutely brilliant. Okay, right, that was a lot of words. Let me give you a few minutes to check out, pick which cardstocks you might want, whether you want some of that Venetian Grace, whether you've been intrigued by our showstopper. This is your chance to check out while we find out all about Club Inspire.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook. where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
If you love Crafters TV, we've made it easy for you to watch us wherever you are. Whether you catch us on your tablets or take us with you on your mobile phone, it's easy to watch us anywhere. From here to here. Maybe don't watch us here. It would be easy to watch us here. Probably the easiest place to watch us is here. Crafters TV, with you wherever you are.
We get to know people from places and walks of life that we wouldn't come across in our everyday life if it wasn't for Crafters TV and doing what we do.
I got so many lovely comments from people when I started doing the presenting, and it was just really such a lovely feeling. And it's nice that people keep messaging in. You know, we see the same people. We know you can build up that kind of relationship with those people. So it's just the fact that people like what we do and they're pleased. And I do love it when people send us photographs of the items that they've made.
We talk about customers, but really they go in as a customer, come out as a friend. The support that I get is amazing. The messages I get are amazing.
Me personally, it is personal interaction. I've never had the best of health. I've always been open about that with our viewers at Crafters TV. So many people are in the same situation as me health-wise. Other people have got a completely different health issues. They understand and they relate to what I'm going through, what others are going through. So whether we interact on a crafting basis or whether we interact on a health basis, a personal basis, we're all there to support one another. It is incredible.
The reaction of viewers when they come to meet us is worth all of the early mornings when we have to get up for our early morning shows.
Other customers come on as craft ambassadors and things like that, craft along with us, and being able to actually chat with them on air. Love it. I really love that connection with them.
We've had lots of shows where we've done like craft alongs, especially where we've had viewers craft along with us. We had a particular viewer, Joy, who joined us once before, and she literally made me cry on air, and Joe, because the things she said about us, it really was quite humbling that there are people out there that watch us and invite us into their living rooms and really treat us like family.
Hello and welcome back. Where's this show going? Craig, do you know where Barry Watermill is?
Barry Watermill?
Watermill, yeah. Deborah Rogers is going there tomorrow.
Oh.
She says, Craig, I'm heading to your neck of the woods tomorrow, heading to Barry Watermill, Weekday out. There you go.
Oh my gosh, that's such a beautiful little place. You know, if you take pictures, actually share them on social media or tag me in them. So Charlotte, it's Barry, it's like a little town, Barry. And then there's a watermill that's in Barry town. So you'll have maybe heard me talk about sometimes Barry Buddin. So at Carnoustie we have Barry Buddin, and it's where a lot of the army come to train from all over the world. God forbid anything was to happen, but they come all over. And we always, when the flags are red, so when they're up, that means you can't go in there because they're training with all their guns and that. But when the flags are down, you can go across and walk, and you know, it's you can walk for hours, and people take their dogs and everything like that. So that's Barry Buddin, and then just, run parallel as the golf course, and then further on along in Barry, there's a lovely little walkway and that, and it takes you up to an old watermill. Well, I say old, it still goes around, it still works. Beautiful, beautiful place. I might go there myself when I go home in a couple of weeks.
Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah, Deborah's going there tomorrow. Deborah Rogers, so there we are. Oh, Joyce is enjoying the show and all the projects while enjoying a little taste of fall in my Virginia mountains. Ooh, that sounds nice. Kathy Myers has got another order in, and Carolyn C is, hello from Florida. I'm still trying to recover from crafting day on HSN and Crafter's Companion. There you go. Right, now I gave you a little hint that we had a creator card bundle with 71% off, and now I'm going to show you this. Unfortunately, this board doesn't show it very well. Craig, I don't know if you've got any finished samples of the Majestic Damask. When I finish,
I do, of course.
Oh, this board, it's been stuck down. It's not showing it very well. Oh, you're an angel, thank you. This is brilliant. Right, so how this works is you have this die, and if I show you here, it has little nicks in the die here, so it doesn't cut out there and there. So what it does, you can see it's here joined, and that then pops out of your card just like that, and that is attached at the top, at the bottom. Absolutely gorgeous. So that is your Majestic Damask. So that, I think that might be my card. I'm sure I did that one.
Did you?
I think so. You've got, we do so many, don't you?
We do.
You think, did I do that one, or am I taking credit for somebody else's work? We've got a creator card here. This is your lovebirds. The lovebirds will then, we've lost it off here, will dangle off the branch just there. Again, absolutely gorgeous. You've got the hello you and lovebirds in word form. Absolutely perfect. Cuts into your cardstock. Absolutely beautiful. Then we've got 2 3-in-1 cards. So, or dies. So that's a lot worse, 3-in-1. So you've got this. So you've got your die. It's a lot of die. It's a full 5x7 sheet of metal here. And you've got the one die around the outside that's going to cut the frame. You've got the one die in the middle that's going to cut these gorgeous butterflies that you can then raise up off the page. But if you use them together, you get this effect. But look at this one. If I turn that landscape, you could be putting a sentiment in there. You could be doing all sorts of toppers in there. Absolutely gorgeous. Or you could do it that way up as well. So you've got, first one is there, your butterfly garden. Your second one is the balloon bouquet. Works the same way. Frame, die in the middle, put them together, and that's what you get. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at that. Again, full 5x7 of metal. So to be getting it for this price is brilliant. You've got your colourable creator cards. Now remember, this imagery was produced specifically with colouring in mind. Now often we'll give you a stamp and the colouring is almost like the secondary point. It's all about the stamping. This was designed with the stamping in mind. You can cut into your cardstock or out of your cardstock. So that's in, that's cut out because you've got all the different dies. You've got your sentiments and you've got your dies for your sentiments. That is your sweet roses. And then you've also got your Dragonfly Dreams, which works the same. Cut it into your card, cut it out, and you've got your sentiment. And again, absolutely beautiful imagery if you want to be colouring that. So those 2 of your colourable creator cards, 2 of your 3-in-1s. You've got your lovebirds, and you've also got your Majestic Damask as well. Now, if I told you you're going to pay £35 or $42 for all of that, you're going to say, which bits? Yeah. All of it. I know.
Town.
Get out of town. It certainly is. £28 or $33.60 if you are platinum. So that is brilliant. They're going to come under, way under £1 a die if you're platinum. Even less than £1 a dollar if you are platinum. So that is a brilliant, brilliant bundle. Which one are you going to use? Because I like this, because it's got a good variety in it, hasn't it?
It does. It's got really nice variety. So for this one, what we're going to do is we're going to be using the colourable creator card die with that gorgeous rose. So what we're going to do to start with here is I'm going to be using my Nina cardstock because we're going to do alcohol colouring. What I have done is I've created my own card blank that's 4 3/4 by 5 3/4. So 4 3/4 by 5 3/4. And then what I've done is using the die, so using your creator card die, so this is then going to cut into your cardstock. If you use the outer die, it's going to release it out. So just using the outer rose die, I have run that through my Gemini. So just that die on its own, that's then giving me that sort of white silhouette effect. So I'm going to move that one out the way for now. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my Nina cardstock. So if I come in with the Nina and then I'm going to go in with the rose stamp. So with this one here, because I'm going to do my alcohol colouring, I'm going to come along and I'm going to use my alcohol-proof ink pad, and I'm going to use the Noir Black for this one. So we're going to go in with the Noir Black. We're going to give it really nice coverage with our ink, ensuring that it's nicely fully covered edge to edge. Turning it around. And for something like this, your stamping platform is going to be an absolute godsend, because if you don't press too hard and you miss little bits like I've done there, it means then we can just go back into place. I talk about as well, when I use this one as well, I just want to clarify what I mean, is I talk about letting it settle, Corrine. And that is it. And in all honesty, and we don't hide this fact, that it can just nudge out, just by, not even by a millimetre, but it's enough that it could create that little bit of an offline drop shadow that you don't want. So every time, what I do is I'll come in, let that platform settle naturally, and then I go and press down.
Since I've worked with you and heard you say that, I have had such improved results.
Really, yeah. It makes a difference. Like there, I've missed a little bit there. So what I'm going to do, pop it on, just let it settle, because it's naturally going to settle in that same position every time, and then we just press. We're pressing that in, remove that one, and then there we go.
Perfect.
No little drop shadow, no nothing, and that's what I mean by settle when I use my stamping platform.
Now, I have never, ever stamped this one before I've die cut it.
Have you not?
No.
I'll
always, with this one, you see, I've always
done it the other way.
First.
Yeah. So I'll always do the colouring last.
Oh yes, definitely.
Always do the colouring last, because I'm always scared that I spend all that time, Corrine, doing the colouring, then I put the die over the plate, over the top, and then a little accident happens, the die slips, and then I've just ruined all that colouring. So yeah, I'll always go along and do it this way.
And I think part of that, I mean, clearly you're obviously wanting that at an angle, but I think these are quite hard to get straight.
Oh yeah,
if you stamp first, but if you're putting it at an angle like you've done.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because I actually didn't mean it to be at an angle. I should have added that outer edge as well. So it's maybe going to be at too much of an angle, and it's just going to be off the side of my card. So if I bring that into there, and then if I bring that in, I might just get away with it. Although in saying that, I've got a fully finished coloured image, because there's no way I'll get all this coloured in this this little section here. But if I come in and then just start to line that one up. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in and I'm going to line that one up first. So I've got that where I want. These are going to be the waist components there. So then that's nicely settled into place. I'm then going to come along with that outer line. So although it's just going to be just off the page and no more, as I said, one, it won't really matter, you wouldn't see it anyway, but two, I've got a fully finished image. So therefore, I'm not overly concerned. And then also, because this is quite a straightforward die, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to put in my magnetic shim, because the chances are this is going to cut no problem without the magnetic shim.
I would never use magnetic shim at home if I was doing something like this.
No, the thing is as well, is, and I know, you know, Debbie's talked about it, and you do it, and I do it now as well, is to say that is, and I can hear those little cracking noises in the plates, which to me knows that it has actually die cut. That's just less pressure on your plates. So that's going to create even more longevity when it comes to your actual plates.
I'm not even thinking about it from a plate. I'm thinking about it on the pressure it's put on the cardstock as well.
Well, there's that. It's, yeah, you know something actually. No, I never thought of that.
I've always considered it as a cardstock issue, not even a plate issue.
Yeah, I see. I never thought of it in that way. And yeah, you're right.
You're less likely to get ruffles, creases, and things in your cardstock.
Yeah, because you will do. Sometimes you find, certainly with more pressure, you know, cardstock can stretch. Certainly with an embossing folder, you know, if you're stretching that cardstock, the fibres. So what was initially, I don't know, 4x6 can stretch ever so slightly with the pressure of the Gemini or the folder. So I'll be thinking of it in that way as well going forward. But by doing my die cut like I've just done there, what I have done is I've just gone in with my magenta, and I'm just going to go and start to colour. And we all on the team, you know, we'll do our alcohol colouring maybe a little bit different than each other. You know, there's no right or wrong way as such. what I do is I like to go in with my lighter tone to start with. I always leave the tip white, and I'll talk you through that in a second. Also putting a piece of cardstock underneath, just excess Nina I had, but honestly it could be the most inexpensive, cheap piece of paper. You know, it could be junk mail if you wanted it to be. It's just so that you've got something that could potentially capture any of the ink that would bleed through.
As long as it's uncoated.
Uncoated, yeah. If you do it onto a glass mat, a craft mat, a coated piece of cardstock, what could happen is it bleeds through, you could get a little bit of bounce back. So that ink would hit the non-porous surface, then potentially start to bounce back or seep back into your image, which you don't want. So your bit of scrap card or paper is then going to capture any of that little bit of excess ink. But then all that I'm going to do then is go in with my dark tone. I like to do circular motions, and I come in just maybe about a third of the way, just giving that a really nice coat and a really good saturation of that dark. And then I'm going to go in with the mid-tone. And with the mid-tone, I'm going in and I'm barely crossing over the line of that dark tone. And just touching, just kind of then just kissing the edge of that dark tone, blending it out. And then I'm only coming down as far as my initial light tone. And then what I'm going to do is go back in, and then I'm going to finish the end just there. The alcohol will evaporate. I do like to give it a really, really quick colour over with my light tone. And then I've got, at that point there, I have got quite a solid dark into mid-tone, but it will start to evaporate that little bit more. If you find it's a little bit too dark, just go back in with your lighter tone and blend that out. It does, it bleaches it out. The lighter the colour, the more of the alcohol that's in there, so therefore you're going to start to bleach it out. But
It's already fading.
You can see it, yeah, you can see it just from the difference a wee moment ago. And then I'm going to go in with my additional petal. And things like this is where you can take what you've seen and learnt from Colour Me Happy, or the main one, Leanne's Academy of Colour. This is when you can really start to bring what you've learnt with Leanne, you know, with the floral designs, with the curvature of petals and shapes, shadows, drop shadows, preserving the highlight, all of that is what you can then come along and start to bring in to your daily colouring with all of your stamps that you've got at home. But for this one, we're going in underneath where I would feel it's going to be dark, underneath that initial mid-tone petals. And again, we're just going to go in, and I'm just going to blend them out. Blend them in with that mid-tone, crossing over and no more. And then we're going to then go into the light tone. And then that's all that I'm simply going to do for the next couple of petals. Work my way up, blend that in, and then you're starting to see that darkness, that depth underneath that layer of petal. We've then got the dark tone. And then all that I'm going to do is just start to repeat that within that section. With your alcohol colouring, no matter what you're colouring with alcohol pens, I would always say section at a time. You know, if you do a great big section, you know, if I was to do 2 or 3 petals at once just with the light tone, what you're doing is you're then essentially, by doing section by section, you're relying on that initial layer to be wet. You're wanting that to be blendable. Whereas if you do big sections at a time, by the time you come back to where you started, the alcohol's dried, it's evaporated, and it's very, very hard to get a really lovely blend. You want that alcohol to be still active. You want that cardstock to be saturated for you to then come along and get that blendability. So going in sections, adding in that last one. I'm just going to then give that a nice little bleach out into there. I mean,
that looks gorgeous. You can see the depth, can't you, in the layers?
You can, can't you? And all that I'm doing is I'm following along underneath that petal each time. I'm looking at the petal that's ahead of it, or in front of it, or at the side of it, and where I feel it's going to be dark. So we're still going to be dark towards that side there, but then I'm going to be a little bit darker underneath here. So always to the end. Just my way of doing it, I always like to preserve that highlight just to the edge, into the tip of the petal, and then we're going to then come along with that darker tones.
So are you of the school you would colour from the outside in, because
Yeah.
then you can see where your darker is
Yeah.
rather than inside out? When I say, I mean the centre of your flower out or the
Yeah.
outside of your flower in.
Yeah, either between that, and I think I always choose the larger components first, which happen to be the outer petals anyway. But yeah, I'll start on the outside and I always work my way inwards.
Yeah.
It's actually something, you know, I'm not just thinking about it now. It's something that I've not really paid much attention to. But yeah, it's something that I've always done. I've always started on the outside and then I work my way on the inside.
Don't the pinks change colour as they dry? If you look at that one you've just done compared to the first one, they look very different, but that's the alcohol evaporating out.
That's exactly what it is. It's taken into account the alcohol that needs to evaporate. And it doesn't take long at all, you know, and it doesn't mean that you can't continue to carry on with the crafting or anything like that. It's not saturated as in that it's soaking wet or anything like that. You just want to let that actual alcohol base evaporate, and then that's when you really start to see that beautiful blend.
Is that dull green?
That's the dull green one that I'm using.
I love dull green.
It's a great one, isn't it?
Sad name for it because it is the most beautiful green pen.
Definitely the best green out of the full set, in my opinion anyway. It really, really is. And for that one, I've just gone in. That one, I've just covered the whole of the leaf for this one. And then what I'm going to do is roughly, not really, really precise by following the veins, but just roughly going to go in with the little scribble, but still enough where I'm really starting to coat that cardstock with that darker tone. I'm then going to go in to the mid-tone by blending it out. And even although there's very, very little space left for me to come back with the light tone, I'm still just going to go in a moment with that lighter tone. Once I've gone in, blended that in, finishing that one off into the middle, wherever I can, start to blend that out. And these are the blends that I'm using. So if you want to come along and add the shades, which I've done within this one here.
Wow.
I mean, look at that one there.
A little bit of white pen on it.
A little bit of white pen. So I've gone in and I've added some of the shade tones as well, the complementary shade tones. But then all that I've done, just a little white gel pen, gone in, adding that little line into here, you know, just a little triangle if you want to. And this is just a generic white pen that I managed to get online. But if you've got your Academy of Colour, of course, you're going to have your white pigment pen in there, or your acrylic paint markers.
Yeah.
Although they're a chunkier nib, you can absolutely use them if you want to.
That is beautiful.
That I'm going to take home, and I can go into my little box where, when I'm just sitting watching the TV one night, I can just pick it up.
I couldn't agree with you more. I love colouring when I'm, this sounds weird, when I'm not 100% concentrating on it.
I know what you mean.
When I'm either talking to someone, you know, on the phone or watching TV, where you actually, because you're giving it a lot of thought, but not 100%. So you just go with what happens naturally.
You do, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you really do. It's a nice thing to do, to not think about anything. Takes your mind, or even if you are doing something but it doesn't need much concentration. You know, it's funny enough, and the prime example is if my mum and stepdad have been down, and maybe at night time, you know, we're all watching a film, and as much as my mum's like, you know, always, you know, just do your own thing, Craig, it's like, well, no, I want to spend time with you. And if we are having a quiet night in and watching a film, but I want to do something, it doesn't appear to be rude if you're sitting in someone's company, colouring away. You know, we were watching a film, chatting away in between. I was still able to have a good conversation with them while going in with the colouring, and it's a nice thing to do. But what I have done, the reason, Corrine, that I die cut that die within my card blank first is keeping in mind, one, you're going to get extra structure.
Yeah.
But keeping in mind the possibility of it, or strong possibility of it blending. So if I coloured straight onto my card blank, which is white multi-purpose, which I could have, we would be left with quite a bit of bleeding on the back.
Yeah.
So to eliminate that, I've done my aperture dye within my card blank, then I've used that same dye with the outer matte and Laird dye to cut it out in Nina and then attached it onto the top.
Brilliant.
That enables us to get a really nice clean backing. And then all that I've done is using a bit of the Venetian Grace paper, which
You're on point today, aren't you?
on point, using lots of the elements, 4 1/4 by 5 1/4, and a little bit of pink,
Linen?
linen, that's
Yeah.
it. It's my favourite, I couldn't even think of it there. And then what I have done, I'm just going to skip this stage here, but I've ran that outer dye that I used for that one. So I've ran that one through, and then it gives me this framework.
All right, yes.
And then it's going to be the perfect frame, perfect size frame
yes.
to go around my coloured card layer. So if I add that one on into position here, and because I've used my tacky glue, it means I've got that manoeuvrability to pop it into place. I can then add my glue onto the back here as well.
Quick question while you're colouring. Jane Quayle says, will these dyes go through the MIDI, please? Now, I don't know whether she's been specific to the roses and that, or whether she means this whole bundle, this Create a Card bundle.
Yes, they will do.
They will, won't they?
The only thing you need to take into account is if I bring this one, so if I bring this one here.
Yep.
Now, the actual size of the die, yes, that will go through the MIDI if you're doing it as an initial layer. It won't go through the MIDI if you're cutting it into a card blank, because obviously the card blank is...
Well, that's 5 by 7.
Yeah, so there is now, of course, your card blank, you're going to either have your pre-scored one or you're going to score it yourself. But a card blank, this die, of course, will need to go through lengthwise within your Gemini, so therefore it's not going to go through your Gemini MIDI. If it's just one layer, so forget about the fact that it's a card blank. If it's just one layer, then die onto your card, pop it into your folder, and then wind it through.
Perfect,
so yes,
thank
they
you.
will do it. It just depends on whether you're using it as a card blank or a card layer.
Yeah. Thank you. That's what I was thinking as well. I always say it's not about the size of the dies, it's about the size of the cardstock you are cutting out of. So that's what you need to think about when you are thinking about which machine you need to use, because that applies to them all. Loads of people loving this. We've got Jean F is in from sunny Southern California, Barbara in from Indiana. Impressed by the bundle savings is Stephanie, but yeah, loads of people loving this.
Thank you. It's a beautiful one to colour. You know, it doesn't take ages, but on the other hand, it's not a 10-minute card either. You know what I mean? It's one that you're not wanting to rush. You want to take your time, enjoy that colouring process, whether you do it all in a 1 hour or whether you come along and do them in little sections. You've got that option, but then you've got your sentiments to go with them as well. And the sentiments, you've got a couple of the dies to go with them. And in that one, I'm just going to go, thanks a bunch. And then there we go. We've got our lovely 4 1/4 by 5 1/4 card, building up the layers, colouring in the layers there. But then that could be cut into the card, it could be cut out of the cardstock, that could be acetate vellum at the back, it could be with a little bit of a shaker on that back. So many different ways, but it's the best of both worlds when it comes to our Create a Card dies and our Create a Card stamps.
It's running away. Your card's running away. I could see it. I could do the split.
Doing Bambi.
It's because you put it on the glass mat,
glass
isn't it?
mat, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Thank you. That is beautiful. That colouring was out of this world. Absolutely gorgeous. Dragon325, who is Molly, says beautiful colouring. Craig, the pink shades are lovely, says Patricia. Those roses are absolutely stunning, says Deborah. Remember, those stamps were designed with colouring in mind to allow you to use all those techniques you've learned and do it. It look beautiful. That tip really finishes the card well, says Fred171. Jane Quayle says, thank you both for the explanation about the cards in the MIDI.
Welcome.
Jean F. Craig, this card is so beautiful. Gorgeous card, thank you, Craig, says Lois. Gorgeous card, Craig, says Teresa.
Thank you.
Now, if you want to make that and all, cards with all of the others, then the details are up here. It's a Create a Card 8-piece collection. You're getting 35 dies in total and some stamps as well. Today's price is £35 or $42. That is a 71% saving. You're saving £85.92 or $98.72. That's the sort of saving you'd be expecting to see if it was a £250 bundle, not a £120 bundle. But your platinum price, even better there, is £28 or $33.60. Now, we have got some more sort of create a card style dies for you, and this next one is your embroidery frame die. This is beautiful. This is the swirly leaves. You're getting 2 dies. You're getting the outer die and the inner die, so you can cut out, you can cut in. What this is going to do is it's going to cut all the little dots into your cardstock for you to do your embroidery with as well. So make sure, I'm sure you've got so many embroidery threads in there. Look at the price for that, £3.89, $4.48. It's a 70% saving again. Platinum price is £3.11 or $3.58. These are have-a-go prices. If you've never done anything like this, these are the sort of prices to see how you enjoy this. If you don't think the leaves is right for you, or you want to have a really enhanced go, then how about the wreath of roses? That is the next one of our embroidery frames. Isn't that beautiful? This cuts out a complete wreath. It is stunning. I love this. All the little dots, you then just go through with your embroidery threads and stitch it through. Same price, £3.89, $4.48, and look at that platinum price, $3.11 or $3.58. We have, is this the final one, I think? Oh, no, the third one we have is our floral hearts. Again, 2 elements, so you can cut out or you can cut in. Again, exactly the same price. Your platinum price is £3.11 or $3.58. If you really don't like doing embroidery, it looks fantastic with a gel pen as well. You can just do faux stitching. Now, have you ever had a go at ribbon threading? So this is the next one. These are your ribbon threading dies. Look, same price or very similar. £3.11 or $3.59 is your platinum price for this. Should be $12.99 or $14.99. Absolutely gorgeous. Then you have a go at threading your ribbons through all the little holes in the design you want. This one's beautiful because it really has so many different sort of potential threading patterns in there. And the other creator card we have got, these are all creator cards, is your Charming Church. It is dies and stamps. So you get a die that will cut, you've got a stamp, and then you've got some lovely sentiments. Now these are really last chance for these dies, these creator card dies and stamps. If you want these, £5.39 or £5.39 or $5.98, but again your platinum price is going to go down to just over £4 or under $5 as well. Absolutely fantastic value. I'm just going to remind you, you don't need to see that, I've left my water bottle out. Then just remind you of our showstopper for today. It's our Halloween and Christmas treat box showstopper. 62 dies, 2 stencils and a 30-piece pack of linen card. If you like that and you think those look super cute, just remember you're getting 6 different characters in there. We're just going to have a little break, and when we come back, our Craig is going to do you another demo using those. So don't go far. £60, $75 is your price today. Your platinum price is even lower down there, and when we come back, we'll show you how to use those.
Welcome to Crafters TV. With more than 35 hours of live shows each week, it's your home for all things craft. We shine the spotlight on new and innovative crafting products with live tutorials and demonstrations. Join our family of craft experts where fun happens every day.
Are we in trouble or are we all right? Should be coming in. Should be coming.
What does she do?
Exactly how
she do?
he looks.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
Get creative and craft along. With our amazing deals, your next craft project is just a click away. Tune in live 7 days a week, or you can watch us on Catch Up at crafterscompanion.com, Facebook, or our YouTube channels. You can chat to us, craft along, and meet new friends by joining our online crafting community.
And I watch you every day, and it's just what really gets you through when you're really at rock bottom.
There's a show for every type of crafter, from first-time dabblers to full-time makers. Crafters TV, create every day.
Here at Crafters TV, it couldn't be easier to get your hands on the latest crafty must-haves. Leave the hard work to us. You shop from the comforts of your own living room. Head to the Crafters Companion website to see our full crafty range, or hit the Shop the Day button to see all the new and exciting products featuring on Crafters TV. Once you've filled your cart, leave it to us to get your crafty goodies to you in super quick time, so you can get on with being creative. Crafters Companion, making crafty shopping a breeze.
What makes Crafters TV so special is you guys.
It's really special because the experts are really experts. They're really skilled at what they do, and they want to make sure that the audience also improves on their skills.
Crafters TV is so special because you've got together a really sort of key group of people and people that are very passionate about the products.
Crafters TV is so special because it's a unique community that we have with each other, where we can learn and grow and communicate with each other.
Community, the family spirit, the education, everything to do with craft. We are all like-minded people who share a passion.
I love all the inspiration the demonstrators bring and all the knowledge for us out here.
What makes Crafters TV so special? 100% it's the interaction. No other crafting TV channel or show has the same interaction.
I love the community, I love chatting live, I think that's the best part. And it's gone beyond crafting because we've become friends.
It feels to me to be a really, really close relationship with our customers and viewers.
You guys make us feel like we're part of your family. I've never been on the show before, but one of my friends who I did meet from CCTV encouraged me, and I was on the craft along.
Massive team of people, and I think they've all got their role to play, and it just brings everything together. It allows us to do our job and just love it.
The people, obviously. The people not just here at Crafters Companion, but the viewers that watch us. I mean, everybody. We have this real magical essence about it.
Bye for now. Bye.
Lots of love coming in for that last card, Craig. Loads of people with Jean F, Lois, Teresa, and Karen as well. Sue Benson says, I used this balloon die from the Credit Card Bundle, made my very first card with it, red, white and blue, and used the bits as confetti. That's lovely to hear. Well done, Sue. OK, now, I mentioned very briefly before we went off for that break about our Halloween and Christmas treat box showstopper. You're going to get 62 dies, you're going to get 2 stencils, and you're going to get a pack of 30 sheets of A4 linen cardstock. Now, I want to show you these because the packaging is a little bit misleading because it looks like you've got Santa and you've got the pumpkin, and you're like, well, where are the rest of them? Can I just show you that in the Christmas one here, you're getting all of these dies, so you're getting all of the elements to make all of these. Now, if you watched us earlier at 3 p.m. Then we were talking about all of the different things that you can be making with these. We were saying how easy that would be to turn into Mrs. Claus. You know, you could be changing. The hats are all interchangeable, and you'll be able to make so many different designs. We had him looking a bit like a little gnome at one point. You know, there's so many different ways. And by using these, now we don't label these pieces in the packaging, so you're not going to pick it up and go, oh, that's the elf's hat, or that's Santa's hat, or whatever it is, or that's the elf's hat there. You're not going to pick this up, or you're not going to go, oh, that is off the elf's hat. You're just going to look at these. That could be the ruffle that comes round here and make it more into a clown, if that's what you want to do. There are so many different ways to use these. Then you've got the Halloween. You've got the spider, and we were saying, without the legs, it was a teddy bear. It was loads of Disney characters. You've got your pumpkin down here. Somebody was saying that this, if you did it in green, that could be the eyes and it could look a bit like a frog. You know, there was lots and lots of different ways to use these. People were saying how they could see little soldier elements, you know, all sorts of different things. So you're going to get all of these dies on here. You're going to get all of these dies on here, 62 in total. And you're going to get 2 of the stencils for the boxes, and then you're going to get 30 sheets of your linen cardstock. So the linen cardstock's worth $14.99, and each of the dies and stencils is $24.99, which is quite incredible for all of that metal. So look at these colours, beautiful colours, all the colours that you're going to need to make the 6 designs. Obviously, if you're going to start making different designs, you're probably going to need different colours, but absolutely brilliant. £60, $75, or your platinum price, £48 or $60, which I think is the best price ever. But just to let you know, if you think you might get through more of your cardstock, then in the same transaction, you can add in an additional cardstock, which should be $14.99 or $19.95, and you will get it for half price. You'll get it for half price at whatever level you are on Club Inspire. So if you're at Platinum, that $14.99 is going to go down to £6. If you're Platinum and you are in America, that $19.95 is going to go down to $8, or it's going to go down to, I think, $7.98 or something like that. Anyway, so absolutely amazing, amazing price. So please remember to put in the extra cardstock if you want it. Now, Craig has got a whole bunch of Halloween little boxes on his desk. What are we going to be getting this time, Craig? Right, so we're going to be using the spider, but what we're going to do is we use the spider, make it into a treat box, but I'm going to put a little handle on it. But this is 3 of the Halloween characters that you can then make straight away. Now, of course, as Corrine said, you can be creative and you can have fun little creative ways in which you use them. So you've got the spider, you've got the black cat, and you've got the pumpkin. So that is your 3 Halloween ones. But then what you've also got is, well, we don't have a snowman to hand, but you have got your little elf, you've got your Santa Claus. That is your 2 when it comes to the characters. Again, you do get the snowman as well. But what you can then do is use them in different ways. Now, we've done that in launch day earlier on, so you can pop them flat on your card. Then you can then make little to and from signs for Santa to be coming. And then again, you can come along when it comes to your card blank. So you can start to bring in things such as your template libraries. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in and we're going to start to do our die cutting. Now, I've already started to layer these ones onto my linen cardstock. So we're going to go in and use the spider. So using the spider outer head when it comes to the brown card. We've got the deep brown cardstock when it comes to the spider legs, and you've got 1 of them in. So you will need to do, 8 in total. If you're going to go in with an 8-legged spider, maybe you want to do 6, 4, it's entirely up to yourself, but you will need to do them a number of times. My white linen cardstock, 2 spider webs, going to go in for 1 of the outer element of the eye. So we're going to need 2. So I've already done 1. 2 little triangles. So it looks like it's 1 die, but it's 2 little teeth there. That is all contained. So it's nice, instead of it being 2 separate diddy dies, they are together. And same with the little central piece of the eye, the little eyeball, what we're going to do, 2 of them
That's there. And then we're going to bring in what will be the mouth. That's then going to be your eyelids. And then that's going to be the mid layer of the eye, which again we need 2 of, and I've already got one here in black. The layers of the eyes will all become apparent just shortly. And then we're just going to layer these ones up. So all of these you're going to be able to use with your Gemini Junior, your MIDI, and apart from the actual character's head, which will need your MIDI or your Junior and beyond, all of these little embellishment dies to finish decorating, they're all going to go through your Gemini Mini. So that's good to know as well. But then what we're going to do is we're then going to go in, pop in the little die out. Now, it's as you were saying, you know, different ideas, Corrine. We were saying within launch day, it reminds me of the outer head of a chipmunk. You know, Simon, Alvin, Theodore, or, you know, it could be a little cuddly bear if you want to. Do it within the skin tone linen cardstock. Could be a boy or a girl, you know, that's got the short spiky hair. All of these different things, you're going to start to see lots of different things, lots of different either characters, whether of course it's cute characters or whether it's going to be human characters. You're going to find and see lots of others. But let's go in with these little elements here. We're going to go in with the eyelids just there. So we're going to take all of these.
The level of detail is phenomenal.
There's so much, isn't there? So much detail when it comes to all of these, because you've got the big eyes, you know, the big striking eyes. And this is where I've got all of these little components of the eyes, starting to layer them up. So we've got the outer when it comes to the white. We're going to go in with that inner layer. Now, even with that is so fun. Imagine if you had things like your googly eyes. That would be really, really cool.
Oh, there was loads of suggestions for googly eyes over the course of the day.
And then add in just even the little circle ones. It gives it that really, you know, cute look. That
He's
cute
gone cross-eyed.
Going in. Could be cross eyes that you can see there. So all of these little dies, although you think, well, what are they all going to do? They're all there to serve a purpose. And then for me personally, I start to build first so that I can get familiar with my layout. I've then got the little teeth as well, tiny little triangles. We've got the teeth. We've got another one into here.
I think it's quite clever not to label them as well, though.
Definitely.
I think it encourages your creativity. If we say this is an eyeball, then people are going to use it as an eyeball.
Exactly.
If they just give it you as a circle, then people are going to be a little bit more creative and
you're right.
Experimenting. I don't know. That's just how I feel anyway.
No, yeah, you are. You're absolutely right. There was something else. There was a range that we'd done. It was the Colour My World range that we'd done. And I'm following on with what you just said there, because Colour Your World, we put no sentiments in there. And it was because sometimes I think that worked well, because if you put generic sentiments like happy birthday sentiments or Christmas sentiments, you're tied in to that kind of theme. Whereas not putting any sentiments within that range, it kind of was carte blanche on it being absolutely any time of the year, any occasion. And it's like within these ones here, not labelling them means that yes, you've got some ideas as to the characters, but then you can then come along and have that play. Do you want them to be the spider? Do you want it to then, I don't know, maybe be a little fuzzy bear if that's what you see? So yeah, I like that idea, Ron. Cut them out in lots of different colour cardstock. You know, some in brown, some in, I don't know, red, some in the black, some in white, and then just sit and see what do you see? Do you see other characters there?
Yeah.
You know, start to build up your own little character.
Anne's just written in that she's seen any one of a number of Muppets. But I'm sure with things like that, I'm sure with these cartoons, a lot of them start off with the same bases.
I am not away to say what I was away to say just there.
Okay.
That would definitely be email in my inbox tomorrow from the boss saying, yeah, you shouldn't say that about your co-workers, Craig. So there we go. Let's bring that. I know everyone's now thinking, what exactly is he meaning?
Which co-worker is he thinking of?
Let's go in there. And then because you've got the little die cuts, what I'm going to do is use my tacky glue to just pick them up. And then before it dries, this is where I can then go into, I want them move to the side there. Is he looking up? Is he seeing a hand coming down? A way to squash it and you know, discard of it. But then you've got that real, you know, please don't hurt me, you know, with the eyeballs just up at the top there. Let's just pull that in a little bit more. And then let's come in with the mouth here. We're going to go in with the mouth. We're just going to add a tiny little bit of tacky glue. For me, I would absolutely recommend the tacky glue for all of these. I feel this is definitely going to be your best friend. It gives you manoeuvrability, and this is coming from me that loves my dry adhesive, but with your tacky glue, you're going to be able to then get it where you want and then just start to then slot it and move it into place with your tacky glue. So we've got its little mouth there, and then what I'm going to do is either by adding your glue direct onto the back of the die cuts or something like that, because these are so small and diddy, Corrine, I'm just adding my glue onto my base layer of my character, and then I can then come along and then just position that into place, into here.
Lillian's seeing a hedgehog.
Yeah.
Deborah Rogers is saying a spider, but only one tooth on it for a baby card.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Diet is loving the eyelashes and maybe put a bow on it to make it, you know, you could make big eyelashes, I think she's thinking.
Yeah.
Because you put eyebrows on, haven't you? So if you put eyelashes and a brow, it would become sort of a little feminine. Every time we've shown this collection, the combination of ideas has been off the chart. It really, really has.
It has, hasn't it? It really has. There's just so many ways that you can use them. But do you know what? I was just thinking there a moment ago as well. You know how when we say you do different inky backgrounds, you're never, ever, ever going to get two exactly the same?
No, you're not.
It's kind of the same with the positioning of the eye. Even the most slightest melt out, you're going to have a different look. It's that appearance within the eyes. It's going to look slightly different each and every time. So we're going to go in and we're going to build our legs at the side.
And there's elements in the Christmas one that you might want to use in there. Do you know what I mean? There's different, I mean, obviously the hats go across, you know, you can be mixing and matching. As we said earlier, you've got the glasses, maybe, I don't know, maybe you could use like if you're changing the character, you could maybe want to use the beard or the moustache. You know, you've got all these elements that you could be changing around. I'm just loving this. I think you need to look at it as a whole collection, not two separate ones, and just put them together.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely right there. You know, try and, although they come in two separate packets, what to do is even open your die packs and then just have them side by side. Opened up in side by side and see what you want. You know, there's nothing stopping you from, if let's take, for example, if you want to be really, really quite quirky and fun and, you know, maybe cheeky when it comes to your granddad or someone like that, what you could do is what I'm just about to show you in a moment. And this is just carrying on with what you were just saying a moment ago about taking elements from the Christmas ones. So if I take that there, if I bring in my bag of kind of like my excess cuts from launch day, so let's just bring all these bits out. I'll bring these ones out.
He's just super cute.
He's super cute. He really, really is. But if you wanted to bring in Santa's, look at that. Santa's moustache.
Now, how about this one? Carol D says, if you turned the spider upside down, you've got a leprechaun. With that bit, with the beard, you know, if you imagined it.
Oh, that bit?
No, I think she was meant to be the spider.
Oh, right, yeah, okay, yeah, I see what you
whiskers.
mean. Yeah, I see what you mean.
He needs the hat and everything, because you've got the hat that goes with the snowman.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, because you wouldn't need the hat. Oh, but that's cute.
So, you know, you could do that. I mean, look at that, of course, you just spread out the eyes that little bit more.
Grandad spider.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, no, or, you know, just even, you know, under the chin or, you know, a little bit of grey hair. Or, you know what I mean? You can then just have a real good play when it comes to these. But do you know something? I'm going to leave it like that, Corrine. I'm going to leave it like that. I'm going to put that on a little foam pad. So there's nothing stopping you from taking elements of the Christmas range and using them. And well, and I'm saying elements from the Christmas range, and I'm doing exactly what you recommended not to do. I'm differentiating them both. Do you know what I mean? So just think of them as a complete whole. You can make 3 Christmas characters, 3 Halloween ones from the get-go, but then bring in your own creativity, bring in your own thoughts and ideas, and then you're going to be able to then come up with a lot more. Of course, I'd spread the eyes out a little bit more. I'm just adding this in last minute because it wasn't my initial plan, but it lets you see how fun and quirky it could be. Grandad Spider, Grandad Spider. And then we're going to come in here. Now, I've already started to create the box. If you want to see how you do the box, you do get the templates included, and I've done it within the very first demonstration within Launch Party, or Launch Day, sorry. So you can go back. So I'm just going to go and add. We're then going to go in and fold these ones in. We're going to go in.
We've got the witch's hat on the spider would be cute, and Granddaddy long legs. There we go.
It's another good one, isn't it? Another good one. I'm just trying to see if I've got any other little bits. I don't really have any bits left over. Cut. But play, sit, get your Gemini Mini, cut out all these little bits, and then just see what you can then come up with. For these ones, what I'm going to do is let's go in with these little corner spider webs. So let's take a little bit of glue at the bottom just into here. So I'm just going to have that one, so it's then just going to be tucking out from the bottom. This one, we're going to go in the other direction with a little bit of glue and pop that one into here. So once we've gone in with that one, I'm going to go in and then I'm just going to add my adhesive on. And within Launch Party, I keep saying Launch Party, Launch Day, I was showing, like I've done now, I've constructed the box, constructed the character, then popped it on. But as Corrine was saying earlier on, this morning, I didn't see Wake Up Call with being in the other studio, but Corrine was explaining how Lily had constructed the character on the box before she assembled it. So you can do that. You can do that in any way.
You've just got to do what works comfortably for yourself, haven't you?
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
And hopefully we've shown you different ways, so we've given people that, you know, that knowledge of how different ways it can be done.
I hope so anyway, because yes, they're great as little treat boxes, but maybe you're not going to be using them necessarily within treat boxes, or maybe you like the ideas but you don't want to use them as treat boxes. Well, you don't have to. Your cars, you know, this little fun, quirky take on your characters. And then all that I've done here is taken a piece of black card, and it is, so it's 11 3/4 by 3/4 of an inch.
It's just the length of your A4 then?
It is, yeah, just the length of the A4 at 3/4 of an inch. And I'm just going to go in with a bit of tacky glue, and then I'm just going to then pop that one into here, and I'm going to press that one in. So I'm just going to go in, let's go in that way here. And then we're just going to then hold that. So if I do it that way, that's it. So if I get my finger into there we go. Just going to hold.
It's just about grabbing it, isn't it?
It is. It's just getting that position with the fingers and the card, just for it to grab. And then I'm just going to go in with another little bit of the tacky glue. If you're using your dry adhesive, then you might not necessarily have that issue, because it's a nice little dinky aperture. But there we go, we're just going to grab it in there. Nice to get the finger in just to hold it while that glue grabs. And while that grabs just for a few seconds more, sending bugs, hisses and Halloween wishes from our All Hallows Eve. That one, what I'm going to do, I've gone in, no mats and layers, because I've gone around with a little bit of our Friar Brown. That can then go into the back, just into there. And then what I'm going to do to finish off, let's just straighten that one up. To straighten off, let's bring some of our embellishment fibres. I'm just going to
saw this yesterday.
It
was on our showstopper deal yesterday, but you could buy it individually. The more you stretch it, the more wispy and cobwebby.
It does, doesn't it? It does. Because I seen when I stopped yesterday morning to stretch my legs at the services on the way to Hobby Maker, I jumped into a Crafters TV while I was just waiting to drive off again, and it was at the start of the show, and I seen when you opened it up, it's like a big blanket.
It was.
And then you start to stretch it, and it kept going and going and going and going. So all that I'm then going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm just going to put a light little line of my tacky glue, or your all-purpose will work really, really well. And then I'm just going to fold that over. I'm going to let that grab. I'm going to start to tuck in underneath. Don't forget your tacky glue, it is going to dry completely clear, so you're not going to see any of that. If you want to come in and add a little bit underneath, so we're going to have that spooky, cobwebby handle where you can put the little treats in there, little trick or treats. Pop that, fold that in, just manipulate it, spend a little bit more time than me, but look at that. How cute, how fun is that? Little sweeties in there, little gifts in there. But there we go. So there was. So if I bring it, that was my initial one that I'd done. And then last minute, let's go in with the Santa beard. And
Absolutely gorgeous. Everyone is loving this. Cuteness overload. Says Lois. Laura says, I love it. Sue Benson says, very cute. Diet says, you could print out a picture headshot and put it on the spider. There we go. Right, so, I've got a quick question for you. It's not on this, but I want to ask you before it disappears. Kim says, any tips for cutting encapsulated glitter cardstock with intricate dies? She's not getting clean cuts, even with a metal shim.
Right, that's...
It depends how intricate, doesn't it?
Exactly, yeah. So
encapsulated glitter isn't designed for your very intricate.
No.
You can get quite intricate, but not very...
detailed intricate, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, it's all very well, you know, and we'll say, you know, your dies are going to go through things such as your encapsulated glitter, but exactly as Corrine said, if it's really, really detailed, the way I think about it is if it won't cut through fabric, it's going to be a little bit tricky for your encapsulated glitter. It just sounds as though it's maybe either too... I'm just curious, is it our encapsulated glitter or is it another branded one? Because I'm just curious that if you're adding your metal shim in and that's not even cut in, then it could just be that it's either too detailed or it's another branded glitter card, shedless glitter card.
Maybe it's got that plastic
coating. And make sure as well, if you're adding your metal shim, you're still putting that same plate configuration. You're not taking anything out. So it's still your two cutting plates, your frosted, your magnetic, and then you're cutting into your plate. So you've got your metal shim, you've got your encapsulated glitter card, and then you've got your die on the top. So you're cutting through your glitter card into that metal shim, but still with that full plate configuration. Give that one a shot.
Yeah, and maybe run it through a second time without taking it out. It doesn't, you know, it's if you've obviously got the electronic machine, if you've got this the metal shim, don't even take it out. I mean, I did one yesterday and the machine didn't even stop whirring, and I'd got it back in again. It's an electronic machine, it's not taking anymore. So maybe consider doing that, and try that.
If you need to run it through a second time, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
You know, there's nothing wrong with the die, there's nothing wrong with the machine or anything like that. It's just the medium that you are cutting, it's just a little bit temperamental or a little bit thicker. So if you have to do it a second time, that goes for any die cutting. Please don't think as though there's something wrong. It's just a medium that needs it done a second time.
But I wouldn't take the die off to check, because that's when it starts to jump around. Just go through, catch it, and go straight back through again. Hopefully that helps you a little bit there. And that was for Kim. So hopefully. Right, now back to this. So this is the Halloween showstopper. If you want to be able to make any of those, and all of the characters we have been describing, you need the Christmas collection, and you also need the Halloween collection, so you can be making all of those. And don't forget, in the showstopper, you're also going to be getting your 30 sheets of linen cardstock in those beautiful, beautiful colours. I love that. Today's price, £60, $75, or your platinum price is £48 or $60. So there you go. Party favours for children's Halloween party. That would be brilliant, wouldn't it?
That would be so good.
Okay, now, we've got just over 10 minutes, just coming up for 11 minutes. So we've got a couple of votes to do. Craig's going to move all his cups of tea out the way.
Yeah.
He's collected them. Bless her, Tracy's been bringing them in. So let's see, how many demos have you done in this?
3 in this show.
3 in this show.
3,
So here we
yeah.
go. Let's have a look, and then you can vote, and then that will go towards demo of the day.
Rightio, let's have a look at them. So first one is our Venetian Grace collection. So number 1, number 2 is our Create a Card die, and then number 3 is our little treat gift bag, which we made using our brand new launch.
Different.
Number 3. So 1, 2, 3. The choice is yours.
Wow, such different projects. I don't know how you're going to vote for those. Right, okay. We mentioned this earlier. This is your weekday wonder. As you imagine, your weekday wonder, it starts on a Monday morning and it ends on a Friday night, ready for a weekend wonder. So this is this week's weekday wonder. It is your, they say small die and stamp folder, but as I said earlier, I think it's the perfect size, because if you get the large one, it can get quite heavy. So you've got this really high quality zip, goes all the way around. So it's going to open completely flat. Why do I always open it upside down?
I'm like that with the Ultimate Pro.
Always. Oh, there we go.
Ultimate Pro, I always open it the wrong way.
Every single time. I haven't opened it the right way round once. You're going to get your pockets on the inside. You've got your 3 holes. And I love that it's got 3 holes, because even though these are sort of, what are they? Let me just see. 9 by 6 inches. If you only had 2, it could start to pull and sway. But having that 3rd hole in there, they're far enough apart that they're never going to rip into one, become one. But they're strong enough that, look at that, it doesn't move at all, it doesn't budge. I think this folder would easily hold 9 sheets. You're going to get 6 because you're going to get 2 packs of 3. But if you pick up some more, you're going to easily get 9 in there. Maybe you get 12, depending on how thick your dies are. You can have these by themes. That's what I've got at home. I've got a floral one, I've got sentiments one, and I've got one for all my sort of nesting dies as well that I use on a daily basis. If you pick up these today, so you've got your folder and your 6 sheets, which I've got that one upside down, you get it's white clean, you've got your double stitched handle. It's really robust, because it's going to take some welly if you've got some heavy dies in there, but you don't need to worry about that. Today's price for all the elements, so that's the 7 elements in total, 6 sheets and your folder, £23.46 or $29.94. Lovely 15% saving on that. Platinum price £18.77, $23.95. But I love this bit down here, double points. Weekday wonder, we always give you double points on that. So yeah, something to be considering. Oh, it's very close between 2 projects. Oh yeah. Okay, now you've seen these used, you see these used day in, day out, all day, every day. These are your tape pens. So we actually do a box, very uninspiring looking box, isn't it? 12 extra permanent tape pens. They are so strong. You see us use them for our construction all the time. Each pen has 22 metres of tape on those. You see, it's a solid tape pen. You are going to absolutely love these. Now, I worked this out. So these should be, and let me work this one out, $3.99 each or $6.99. I've got my maths here. Today's price, they're working out at £3.16 each or $5.41. Cracking saving. If you're platinum and you get them for £30.40 or $52, you're paying £2.53 for that £3.99 tape pen, or you're paying $4.33 for something that should be $6.99. So that's absolutely brilliant. 12 in there, it's nice and full of your tape pens. It should keep you going for quite a long time. Can I just say, Christmas will be here sooner than you reckon, and these are brilliant for doing your invisible wrapping today. Wow, this is going to be funny for demo of the day. I am intrigued on this because the winner of demo of the show is number 3.
Number 3.
So that means that's going up against, all from the showstopper, number 1. A little spider box. Number 2, our lovely cat, and Craig's popping over. And number 3, granddaddy long legs. Oh, that feels really soft. That's lovely feeling
It is
on
soft,
that, isn't
isn't
it? With the little treat bag. So you've got 1, 2, or 3. Charlotte says it's got to be number 2 because she doesn't like spiders. There you go, principle. Yeah, who couldn't love these spiders? Who couldn't love these spiders? 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm going to let you choose. I'm glad I'm not picking. I mean, the odds of a spider winning today are pretty high. So we shall see how they go. Right, now, we've got some other brilliant items available today. We have got our fine spray misters. So if you are doing any of your mixed media or you're using your inks, these are brilliant. Lovely, lovely fine spray on those. $4.99 or $6.99. Your platinum price for those is $3.99 or $5.59. Absolutely brilliant. And then the next one we're going to look at is Shimmer Sprays. Right, now we only have a couple of these left. They have also... Right, the first one, put my teeth in, Deep Seashell Pink. There we go. I could have said it really well until Dean said it in my ear. There we go. Right, now, what I love about these is, I've not shook this up. If I tip that up, look, you've not got a big puddle of mica in the bottom. You do get that with what, let's call it inferior sprays. The composition of the liquid just holds the mica in the suspension really well. Yep, you're going to give it a little shake. You don't need to do it too mad because that glitter, that mica is holding perfectly. And then you can just spritz with the bottle. Or you can take the lid off and you can paint directly from there. You can use all of your techniques from there. Absolutely gorgeous. But look at that gorgeous deep seashell pink. Love that. But the other one we have got is Golden Heather. This is beautiful. It's got whereas that's got pink tones, this has got sort of your red tones to it. Can you see it? Again, look at that, no puddle of mica in the bottom of the bottle. Sorry. Again, all there. Now, I didn't even say the price of the other one. They're both the same price, $5.99 or $7.95 per bottle. It doesn't matter which one you pick, just make sure you pick the one you want. Seashell Pink, Golden Heather. Platinum price today for either one of those, remember that's the individual price, £4.79 or $6.36. Right. Oh, it was a landslide demo of the day. Demo of the day. They've obviously been listening to Charlotte. It was number 2. Aww. There you go. It's the little cat. The little wizard cat. There we go. I do think the spiders were really cute. We'll leave those there because they will go to photography. But there we go. Your cat won the day. He is super, super cute. The way you've done those little moons on the paws look like claws.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
look,
quite funky, isn't it?
Apparently that was a landslide. That didn't take Susie too much to do. Now, I'm away home today. I'm back up here next week. I've got Hobby Maker first, but then I'm back up.
Fab.
But you're back in tomorrow, aren't you, Craig?
I am back. I'm still going. You got
With
me
Debbie,
tomorrow.
I think, aren't you?
Yeah, so I'm going to be flipping sides. So I'm going to be on the presenting side all tomorrow. Debbie Fisher's going to be on this side with another incredible launch. If you remember that launch, we've got the 3-in-1 Create a Card dies. Then on Friday, it's me and Debbie once again, but we're flipping again. You'll have me on this side Friday and Debbie across on that side.
Oh, that's going to be absolutely fantastic. You're going to love that. So, yeah, it's all about Craig and Debbie. Are you both doing QVC as well on Friday?
We are indeed, yeah.
Wow, you're busy few days, haven't you?
Busy few days,
wow.
Yes, all go.
Well, you look after yourself and make sure you have a good weekend. You have a good weekend
Always
and
fun,
get lots
Corrine.
of relaxing and downtime. So, if you have enjoyed that, there's still time for you to get the Showstopper deal. You can get that as well. But please have a lovely evening wherever you are. I'll be back next week, and Craig will be back with you tomorrow with Debbie. So have a fantastic evening, and we'll see you very soon. Take care. Bye.
Toodles.